Hello everybody, welcome back to Alex Reviews, and on this episode, Finding Dory. So, went and saw this in theaters Friday evening, and so this is going to be my first straight theater review. So, like the first film that I saw in theaters and then I'm just reviewing right now. So let's get started. First I want to talk about the animated short that was before it, called Piper. Is it sad to say that I liked Piper better than I did Finding Dory? Okay. If you want the review in a nutshell, I did not care for this film. I didn't find any enjoyment in the film. That's my deal. Okay. But overall, when I finally tallied up the score for this, it was a decent score. I thought it was going to be on the lower end of the 5s, maybe, but it's a little bit above that. But no, I did not like this film. So if you are going in expecting a ton of praise for this film, and please hear me out before you just dislike the video or something, just let me explain what I have here. But I really love this animated short, definitely. Piper, if you go see this in theaters, this is going to be spoiler alert. It's just about this little bird, and he gets splashed by like a wave when he's trying to get, I'm guessing, nuts or something, and he's trying to crack into the nuts, and he gets flushed, like just hit by a wave, and then that scares him to go do anything. But then when he sees what's underwater, it's a bunch of nuts, so then he and the crab that he meets, it's just a very, 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 one of the best animations I've seen, definitely. And definitely one of the best animated shorts, but just the way it's animated, it was just amazing. Sorry if you hear thunder in the background or something, it's storming out here. Anyways, now to Finding Dory. Again, if you're going to look for me loving this film and just praising it, you're looking at the wrong one. So this film was directed by Andrew Stanton, who I believe directed the first one, and Angus MacLane, who I've never heard of before. But Andrew Stanton, Pixar director, did the screenplay for it also, and he had this message before the film started, which I thought was really good, about him trying to save the theater, getting people to go to the theaters and watch it. That was definitely a necessity. I'm glad that they added that in. Alright, so this film, it's basically Dory is the focus character, and she's going to find her parents. Alright, so let's just get into the review. The originality of this film. This film, it's just another one of those, hey, I lost my parents, let me go find my parents. But oh, my friends are going to come with me. Oh, they get lost too, and I get separated, and then I find them on my own somehow, even though I think they're dead, and yada 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 yada. Boring, unoriginal plot and story. 2 out of 5. The only thing that, only reason why it has a 2 instead of a 1, I thought it was going to end with her parents dying, and I guess that's more for predictability, but whatever. I mean, I would have rather that happen. Her parents, and by the way, her parents look the exact same as they did 20 years ago, or whatever fish time it is, when they left her. They look the exact same. Yet Dory got, like, huge. Not, you know what I mean. She got way bigger, versus her parents kind of like staying the same. I don't know, I didn't check their receding hairlines from before and after, but, you know. The predictability of the film, 2 out of 5. I mean, the only thing I really couldn't predict is when this film was going to end, because I thought it was going to end after this one plot point. Nope, we still got another 30 more minutes of the film. Alright, it's going to end after this one. Nope, we still got 20 more minutes of the film. It's going to end after this one. Nope, we got 10 more minutes of the film. And it just kept going on and on and on, and it was annoying. So 2 out of 5 there. The characters. Here was my main problem with the first one, and it wasn't a main problem, actually. I really liked the characters. I really liked Dory and Marlin. That was the thing that made the first film for me. I couldn't give a shit about Nemo. I gave more shits about Nemo in this movie, I guess, so yeah, good job with upgrading Nemo's character from a 0 to a 1. The only thing Nemo provided for me was a couple one-liners. He was not... Him and Marlin, if they were taken out of the story, the only thing different was it would have ended 10 minutes shorter, which would have saved my time. So, they were not a necessity in this film. Dory should have just went off on her own. I know they needed to. But even Dory was not a... I did not like Dory in this. And it's not that I didn't like her. In the original film, she has, what's it called? Short-term memory loss. Okay, well, they used that, and they used it a bit, and they used it for comedy, alright? As a side character. We're not sitting with this character for a good 45 minutes just alone. Or 30 minutes or so just alone. Here, we're sitting more time alone than we were with Marlin in the first film, and we're getting this short-term memory loss, and I understand that she has it, and you have to implement that, but it's so repetitive, and it's the same joke over and over and over and over and over again, and it's just really, really annoying. 4 out of 10. The characters were not good. Crush came in. That's what that was the highlight of the movie for me, when Crush was on screen, and they give him less time in this film than they did in the first one. I was hoping for Crush to stay around a while. Nope, let's go watch these otters and Hank. Oh God, I hated Hank. He was a douchebag, and I don't deal with them. I don't deal with those kind of people. I did not like Hank, whatever his name is, at all. And I like Destiny, I guess, and Destiny's friend, who I can't even remember his name, because he was so... I guess he was useful to the plot, but he was pretty much useless besides the one thing he could do. He was okay, I guess. 4 out of 10 for the characters. The story and the plot, 6 out of 10. It just wasn't original, and it was so easy to predict what's going to happen next and where people are going to go. The moral, I will say this, it did have a strong moral. Definitely an 8 out of 10. Dealing with people who are just think before they speak and say the wrong thing to people, that's definitely... I don't think it hit hard enough, and I don't think they focused on it a lot more, but 8 out of 10. I'm gonna give it its due. It's a very good moral. The animation, I can't even complain here. 10 out of 10. Pixar animation is just amazing, and it was beautifully animated. 10 out of 10. Is it or will it be dated? There's another thing with this film. It's not going to be dated. 5 out of 5. The pacing of the film. Now, here's a big problem with the film. The pacing was off. I was excited for like 5 minutes, and then I wasn't, and then I kind of was, and then I kind of got interested, and I came here with my grandpa, too, and I looked to my right, and, wake up! Like, he was wanting to get out of the theater. I, for the most part, was wanting to get out of the theater for the first 2 acts. Now, I do believe that there was this genius part in the film, and it comes right when when Dory gets into the pipes and starts talking to Destiny, because I actually found that a little bit funny. That moment, until basically she finds her parents, I thought that was beautiful, and I was on the edge of my seat, and I did tear up. I teared up when Nemo asked Marlin, "Is this gonna be goodbye?" That line was delivered very good by Nemo. I'm gonna give the voice actor for him that. And just the way that he said it and the way that the emotion was displayed. However, I wanted to be out of the theater for the rest of the time, to be honest. Maybe not the first bit, and maybe not parts and bits and pieces, but I didn't like it. It was just on and off stupid, to be honest. 1 out of 5. And here's another thing. Pixar's not good with taking a side character like Dory or Mater from Cars and then making a sequel with them as the star. Mater in Cars 2, Dory and Finding Dory. The impact. I wasn't fully impacted. I can say with that line, that did impact me, and that's why it has an 8 out of 10. But otherwise, this film does not impact me at all. But it still gets an 8 out of 10 because that line was delivered beautifully. no, I'm not gonna say it's one of the best lines ever, but that was a very, very well delivered line. And it was because of something that I believe Marlin said beforehand, or maybe it was Nemo that said it beforehand. But 8 out of 10. Did it hit the target audience and beyond? I am giving this a 10, despite the fact I honestly don't think that they will. But, I mean, the box office numbers show, yes, this film is for everybody. But, I mean, the theater, I went during its third week showing out, and the theater was half full on a Friday night, so that's pretty good for a third week movie. Maybe not so for a Friday night. But, I barely heard anybody laugh. They were laughing more at Piper than they were at this film. I mean, like I said, my grandpa is over here going to sleep. I mean, I think it could be a hit or miss for people, and maybe it's just a miss for me. And because I've heard several people love this film, and another friend of mine just earlier today, I was saying, hey, I don't like this film, and I'm going to make a review that's saying I don't like it. And he was like, what do you mean? The whole theater was cracking up when I went there with my relatives and stuff. But, and that might be the case. Maybe I just was with either a bad viewing audience or a good viewing audience. I mean, and maybe I'm just being way too harsh on this film. Or maybe I just had over expectations because I've heard stuff about it. And maybe it was just an okay film with a bad reviewing because of how much I've heard about it. But, yeah, I still can give it a 10 because of the box office numbers. That's what I'm judging this on. The relatability of the film, yeah, I think you can relate to some of these characters pretty good. I don't see anybody where... actually, I can't see you relating with Dory too much. It's just like... I don't know. It's a hit or miss. Honestly, I couldn't really relate to anyone in this film. So, let me retract my statement. I was looking at something else, and then I just kind of said relatability. I'm gonna have to give this a 4 out of 10, because, like, I don't know. It wasn't that good. I'm gonna give it a 4. I don't know. And I know I stumbled there, and I'm sorry about that. I don't want to record another 12 minutes, but I looked at something else. 4 out of 10 there. And finally, the voice acting. I did really like the voice acting in this film. I'm definitely going to give that a 10. I thought Nemo did a really good job. And even though I joked about it before, and he was not useful to the plot, neither was Marlin or Becky or the Otters or... anybody on Marlin and Nemo's side of the plot was useless. The only people who were useful to the plot were Dory, Hank, and Dory's parents, I guess. Even though they didn't do much except be there as a device for Dory to find. But, I guess besides that, yeah. So, this film, overall, gets a 6.2 out of 10 for me. I guess you can say that this is really a tasteful film. If you have the taste for this film and you liked it, hey, I don't judge you for liking the film. I know many of my reviewing buddies love this film. Go for it. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this. But I did not find this film to be that good because of really just lousy dialogue, lousy characters who were useless to the plot overall, and a lousy story. If they tweaked at least one of those three things, probably not so much the dialogue. If they tweaked the dialogue, I could probably enjoy the film, and I didn't really enjoy this film. Just watching this from a regular viewer standpoint, I liked it, I guess, but I didn't super enjoy it. But if they fix one of the other two, it'll probably get up there to about Circle or, I don't know, maybe even the Finding Nemo level or the Frozen level of likability. But if they tweak both of those first two, I think it would be a definitely good film. So, I don't know what I'm going to review next. It'll be something good, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.